Okay, well, good morning, 7th graders. I hope you're doing well. We are again on chapter 10. This is chapter review, and this is part 2. Okay, so we are on page 477, and like yesterday, I'm going to do the same type thing where you can follow along and get some answers to the questions. So please have your book ready, have your homework out. That will allow you to get some of these exactly right. And you'll know that you get them right because you'll do them with me. So that's fine. Okay, so we had stopped on number 30. Okay, so number 30, and it says right here, it says to make a circle graph. Okay, so a circle graph, this is what some people call a pie chart. Okay, pie chart. So the first thing we need to do with all of those different types of cookies that we could make, do you see that right there? It has chocolate chips. We need 8 chocolate chips. What is that? 5 sugar, 2 oatmeal, 7 peanut butter, 3 lemon, 5 chocolate. Okay, now these are different types. Each one of these is going to get its own section on the circle. Okay, so we're going to have a circle that looks like this, and then it's going to be split up, and each one of these is going to get its own, right? The 8's going to represent here, and the 5 here, and the 3 and that little one, and the 7 this big one, right? So I'm going to erase that, but that's basically what's going to happen here at the end once we have these. So the first step, this is very important. So number 1, we need to do is add all the numbers. Okay, we need to add all the numbers. So what do we get here? I'm going to come over here. When I do 8 plus 5 plus 2 plus 7 plus 3 plus 5 here, not equals 5, plus 5. Okay, I get 13, 15 now with those 3. Then I get 22 down to the 7. I get 25 down to the 3. And with the last 5, look what I get. 25 plus 5 is 30. So my total is 30. Now that was the first step because now I know that I can make a percentage from all of these. Okay, so I did step 1. I added all the numbers and I had a total of 30. So now what I do is I'm going to erase this real fast and use 30. And I'm going to take 8 and put it over 30, and 5 and put it over 30, and 2 over 30, 7 over 30, 3 over 30, 5 over 30. And then what I'm going to do with each one of those, okay, so that's the percent. This right here will be the percent of 8, which in this case is chocolate chip. This will be percent of sugar. This will be percent of oatmeal, percent of peanut butter, percent of lemon, and percent of chocolate. Each one individually, right? I solve what is 8 divided by 30. And when I do that in the calculator for 8 divided by 30, I get 0.266 repeating, okay? Then I take this number right here, and I'm going to do that for each one, but I'm just going to do an example for the first guy here. And I'm going to take that and multiply it by 360 degrees. Why am I doing that? Well, I need to know the angle in this chart based on that. So I do that and punch that in the calculator, and I get a handy 96 degrees. Okay, then I do that for each one of these. So I'm not going to go through the steps to solve each one, but I'm going to do that for each one of those. And then I'm going to come to my circle. That's going to be right here. And I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to say, okay, that first one is at 96 degrees. Okay, so if I have a line that's going from the center there, then the first one is going to be 96. I'm going to go to 90 on mine, which yours you can just go to 96, but I have to go to 90, and then I have to go 6 more, which is to 84. Okay, so if you don't understand that, that's okay. Yours probably is a little easier, but you can see that right there is a 96 degree angle, and I say that is for 8. That's for the chocolate chip, CC. Okay, so you just got to do that for every single one. And so then the next step, so let's say you do that. Now the next step would be erasing this down here. And I would say, okay, what is now 5 divided by 30? And I punch that in the calculator. I do 5 divided by 30. And I get 0 0.16 repeating. 166. Now I do that times 360 degrees. And I punch that in and I get a grand total of 60 degrees. So then I come here and I'm going to go from the bottom side this time and I say, okay, I'm going to go 60 degrees from there. So da 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 to 60. And then straighten this up here. 60. And then I just draw my line right there. And now I know that that is 5, which stood for the sugar. So this is sugar, is that. Okay, so I just do that for the rest of these now. You guys can do it, and then you just go from there. Okay, so that's what number 30 through 33 are going to be like. Okay, I'm going to clear the canvas and keep going. Next, we are interpreting a bar graph. So I'm going to do my own bar graph, though I don't give you just the answers for this. I know that would be fun, but you guys are smart enough. You guys can do this on your own. So here is a bar graph. You should remember this from before. We talked about what kind of pet you own. So if there was a question that said, what kind of pet is the most popular? Okay, what would you guys say? Which one of these is the most popular based on this? Well, it's the tallest one. We'd say the cat is the most popular. What if we said which one is the least popular? Well, that's also easy. We just come over here and choose the smallest one, which is rabbit. Okay, you guys can definitely do this. It's just interpreting the graph. If I said, how many pets were there total? Okay, what if I said, how many pets total? How would we figure that out? Well, we would just add, right? We'd say, okay, how many hamsters do we have? We have 5. How many goldfish? 6. How many cats? 11. How many dogs? 8. How many rabbits? 4. And then I just add those together, right? 5 plus 6 is 11. Plus 11 is 22. Plus 8 is 30. And then 30 plus 4 equals 34. So if I said how many pets are there? There are 34 pets total. Okay, so that's not very hard. Then if I wanted to find the average, right, I would take 34 and divide that. So 34, because that's the sum, divided by how many categories I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories. So 34 divided by 5 here on the calculator. The average is 6.8. Okay, so that's the mean or average. Cool. Okay, if you need to pause that and watch me do it again, go for it. I'm going to clear the canvas and keep on moving. So this video is not super long and boring. Okay, the next thing that we're doing is interpreting a line graph. So this is now on the back side of that page. Oop, let me get my picture up here. So line graph, yay. Line graphs are fun. So line graphs are used for time, okay? Now if you look up here, this is representing people in a store, which now is, I guess, a little bit fewer, or a lot more depending on when you go and people are buying toilet paper, right? So this is the number of people total on this side, and this is the time of day, and it's going to go this way. So if I ask you how many people are there at 12 p.m., you would just look up and say, oh, right there are 10 people. Okay, so you see that right there? 10 people at 12. Okay, that's super easy to read. What if I said, when does this decrease? Okay, there'd be a lot of different times that this decreases. See right here, from 1 to 2 is a decrease. See how that goes down? And then I say it also decreases from 2 to 3. See how that goes down from 15 to 5? And I said it actually decreases there as well from 3 to 4. But it doesn't decrease here. It stays the same, but then it decreases again from 5 to 6. Okay, so that's just how you interpret those graphs. Pretty straightforward, not very hard. You guys got it. I believe in you. Then we are now going to look at a histogram. This is the next part of the homework, is the histogram. And this is theme park admission and the cost, okay? So, theme park admission, this is the cost. How many of them cost 7 to 14, 15, all these ranges. And that's how many parks are costing that range. So I want to find the mode. Okay, the mode of this is just the most. Okay, which one has the most? Well, that's pretty easy. This guy right there. Okay, so the most is 15 to 22. That's how you find the mode. It's the one that has the most. Okay, I'm going to back this up so we don't have the circle. So that's how you find the mode. If you need to watch that again, go ahead and pause it. That's how you find the mode. Then if it talked about the range, okay, this is a very good thing here. The range is the absolute biggest, which is 46, minus the absolute smallest, which is 7. So 46 minus 7 in this case would be 39. That would be the range, okay? It's always the biggest one on the farthest to the right minus the smallest one on the farthest left, okay? So then what I would want to do here, if I have anything that's anything other than that, I just count. Okay, so I just go across here and say, okay, at 7 to 14, it is at 5. At 15 to 22, it's at 7. Right, it's the same thing as the other graph. Cool. All right, moving on. Now the last thing that we're going to do is the leaf and stem, right? So if I give you numbers like 34, 41, 52, 55, and 57, okay, and I said make a stem and leaf, the way we do that is over here we have 3, 4, and 5. That's representing this 3, 4, and 5, 5, 5. Then I take how many are trailing here? The 4. So I say, there's my 4. I say how many are trailing, but find this 4 right here. There's just 1. So I just put a 1. Then I say how many are trailing behind this 5 right here? Well, I got 2, 5, and 7. Okay, so I do 2, 5, and 7. And that's how we do the stem and leaf, or leaf and stem. I don't know which way they say it. It doesn't really matter. They're the same thing. Then the last part of the homework is going to be a box and plot whisker. Sorry, not whisper. So if we have these numbers, right, if I have 2, 7, 13, 20, 27, and 31, right, the way I make that is the smallest becomes this one, so that's 2, right, he's the smallest, comes down here. The biggest is 31, so he comes down here, and that's 31. Then I have a box right here, and I say, which way is the median? Okay, so the median, I say, how many do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means I have 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so I need to go 1, 2, 3, and it's that term, and I need to go 1, 2, 3, and it's that term. But it has to be what's in between there. So then I do 20 plus 13 divided by 2, which is 33 divided by 2, which is 16.5. Okay, so now I know that the middle quartile is 16.5, the median. Now I need to find the median of the lower quartile and the upper. So I find the lower by taking the lower 3 right here in that blue box, and I say 1, 1, so that makes, yay, 7 is that one. I go on this side and I go 1, 1, and that makes 27. And there I am, done with that. Okay, so if you need to pause that, watch the videos from earlier, go for it. So 10 review, this is our homework. Our review is page 477, and we are doing 30 through 49 all, okay? And you have all weekend to do those, okay? So it shouldn't be too hard. Let me know if you have any struggles or challenges, and I will seek to answer those questions, okay? Mr. H is over and out. Enjoy your weekend.